Good morning, Beyond Bakes Private School. How are you guys? Come in, say hello when you get here. I'm going to pull you guys up on my computer so I can see the comments. I was running a little bit late this morning and I didn't get a chance to do that. You're going to be seeing a few different angles today of my craft room, so we're going to go on a little roller coaster ride, if you guys don't mind. Hold on one second, you guys. I apologize. I'm usually better prepared than this when I start a live or go into group. But hello, say hello when you come in. I'm just getting you guys pulled up just so I can see the comments because I like to use the comments on my, I put them over on my TV from my laptop. Hey, Nikki, I am kind of pulling comments up. I was running a few minutes behind, so this is a little TMI. Here we go. Anytime I have to go live, either when I'm on stage designing, or if I'm going live in a group or even on my page, y'all, I get the nervous peas. So I had just pottied and I had to go back and potty again. I'm like, I'm going to be late. But okay, so I'm going to move you guys around a little so you can see, you'll see, like I said, different parts of my craft room, so I apologize. But today we're going to make a wreath, and I'm so excited because, and Nikki, thank you so much, you guys, and for everybody for coming in and watching and gracing me and have given me the honor to teach you all a wreath. I so appreciate that. I'm so excited. But we're going to be using this guy. Now, I actually got him from, I believe, Hobby Lobby or Big Lots a few years ago. So we're going to make a winter wreath, and we're going to base it off of this. Basically, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding him, and we're going to be stuffing full. So let me put him over here so he's out of the way. But I'm going to put you all down onto my table. Hey, Terry. Hey, hey. Okay, good, good. Yeah, so y'all, I normally film from my Mevo, which is a front camera, or if I'm doing fake bakes in the two groups that I coach fake bakes in, I have you looking down at my table. However, for me to stuff a wreath, it has to be on my stand. So you see this, oh, move this way. So you see this stand right here. Once we go to stuffing, I'll tell y'all to close your eyes if you get motion sickness, and I'm going to move you over here so you'll be seeing the wreath on the stand. But I'm going to pull y'all down to the table, so if you do get motion sickness, just close your eyes. Hey, Lisa. Hey, everybody. For the rest of you all who don't get motion sickness, hey, Deborah, throw your hands in the air. We're going to go on a roller coaster ride. So I'm going to push you down on my table. Close your eyes. As y'all can see, I have a mess in my craft room. Okay. So right now, I want you just kind of right here before we stuff it, because we're going to start cutting our mesh. But I like to use an evergreen. And I like to use an evergreen when I'm stuffing full, which I'll show you how to do it on a regular wire form frame as well. Because sometimes these, if you don't buy an abundance of these at the end of the season, they can get a little expensive if you have to order them online, and they can kind of be a little hard to find throughout the year sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. But I do like to start with this. This is a 24-inch from the Hobby Lobs, and it's an elevated frame. What that means is it has this one, and then the one right here sets up a little bit higher, so it gives you just a little bit more volume. But we're going to start cutting our mesh, and I've already fluffed this, so all you do, you just pull it up to where it's looking all nice and pretty. But we're going to start with our mesh, and let me pull our Santa back out. The way I choose, and y'all can see he's been in storage a few years. He's got fuzzies on him and lots of glitter. But the way I choose mesh, and hey, Rebecca, and if I didn't say Deborah, hello, Deborah. The way I choose mesh and the way I choose ribbons is I go off of what I'm going to use as my centerpiece. So whether I am using a sign or I'm using an attachment like this in replace of a sign, I go with these colors. And so I didn't pull any black because it's fine if we don't put black in it. But I did pull these, the colors from here. So you'll see that whenever we go to designing. And it's the same, like I said, with the sign as well. Let's start with this one. And so I'm a huge fan of a 21-inch, and I know if you all are wreath makers, you've heard of Megan Fugate from Gal vs. Glue Gun. She does what we call a butt method on these wreaths, and I love that. I love the butt method, and it also gets me a chance to use my 21-inch mesh. I have a lot of 21-inch mesh, you all. It's what I started out on, I've been making wreaths for probably about 11 or 12 years now. So when I first started, there was not such a thing as 10-inch mesh. So overlook the wreaths that you all can see in the background. Those need to be either reworked or they're just like a regular old, like, no, yeah, overlook all of that. But let me make sure my table is low. Okay, so I usually have it to about right here, my table, and then I just pull up, and I pull up to about my head, and then I cut right there. And I do this on every piece, so I don't really measure when I do this method, but if you are a measurer, it is, do it on this one, it's about 25 inches long. So I'm going to cut 4 of these to begin with, and if we need more, we will cut more. So everybody had a good week so far? Are you guys enjoying the group? I hope so. Nikki, I think it's awesome that you let everybody join for the month of December for free. You guys will also see me changing out scissors. I am really... I have ribbon scissors. It's kind of like, you know, how if you are into sewing, you have fabric scissors. I have scissors for everything that I use different things for. Let me put this back in here. I also, you guys, like to store my mesh in umbrella bags. And I can give you guys links to all of this if you like. If you would like, just let me know. But I like to store my unused mesh in these umbrella bags, and the reason why is because, you know, once you open them and they like rub together, it can cause the mesh to pull and it gets frayed, and it's just not that great. This is going to get a little loud, so let me come over here. Okay. Let me open the trash can. So this one is a poly burlap check mesh, and if you like this one, I love this one. It's going to be really pretty in our design. It's going to give it some texture as well. The item number for this one is R as in red, P as in Paul, 8122, F as in Frank, 6. Let me give you a little trick. I like to fold these in half and then shove them right back in here. Now I know I'm going to need more than 4 of these, so I am going to cut, and we'll, like I said, we'll go back and we'll cut more, but I'm doing the same thing. I'm just pulling it up and just cutting. So let's just go ahead and let's cut 5 of these. I don't want to cut too many. Well, we'll just cut 4. No, I know I'm going to need more. So let me cut 5. Oh, my glue gun and my glue pot are both on because I do like to use both. There you guys, are you having a good time so far in the group? Nikki and Shelby have been both teaching amazing things. Nikki, your use of materials that you're able to get in Canada, and the things that you can make cookies out of without cookie cutters is just so amazing and so inspiring to go outside of the box. Like, it's been awesome to see that. Okay. And then we have one more. And that is our green and our burlap. But you see how I'm pulling the colors right out of the Santa. So let me get all these moved. And this is, I'm going to put this over here because I got to unwrap it. You all are definitely getting a view of my craft room. I straightened it up a little, and I told Nikki before I came live, I'm like, it's a mess in there, but thankfully not as bad as what it used to be since I got a storage unit. This is just a jute poly mesh, and it is item number R as in red, Y as in yellow, 800532. I buy the majority of my supplies. Nikki, is it okay if I say where I buy my supplies before I do? That's one thing I didn't ask, is if you care if I gave out that kind of info. Like, I can get you all links for everything. I know she's not going to care. Especially for you guys in Canada. I order the majority of my supplies from Deco Exchange, and he ships to Canada. So let's just cut 5 of these. If I had known you all got that good, was going to get this good of a view of me as well, I would have put on some of my funny socks so you all could have something to laugh at. I got some very funny socks. Okay. So let's get these over here, and then let's start putting our mesh on. I always use my chair if you've never seen me live. I always use my chair to put my supplies in whenever I'm doing a project because my room is small. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is our 21 inch. So you see how it kind of just folds in on its own? We're going to let it do that. See how it just did that? And then we're going to take to this right here, to this first line, and we're going to just bring it in, and the same thing over here. We're going to bring it in. Now you can see how that like crack is that way. We're going to fold it to where that is on the outside. But all I did was fold it in half, and you have that. And then I am going to put it, yeah, I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to put it to where these are coming that way. So you have your poofs here, and your little ends going towards the end. And I'm going to come on this bottom ring right here, and I'm just going to find two of these little I call them pine tines. I don't know what you're supposed to call them. I heard Jackie call them pine tines with the fancy front door, and I just thought that was adorable. I just want to give it a little twist. We're just going to do that, okay, so that it comes out like this. And then we're just going to go around and do that. Now for these, we're going to do what is called a woodland ruffle, or what's considered a cruffle. It's the same thing. So you take, sorry, you take your end and you fold it over just like that. And then I like to do two more. I cannot do this on my chest. My girls will not allow it, so I do it on the table. So you do once over to hide your seam, and then two more. But you see how I let it kind of have a good sized little curl there? And then you're just going to try and stay in line. That's the good thing about if you use a mesh that has a stripe in it, you can just kind of go on that line. But I'm just going to cruffle it together, and then you have that. I like for this side to be up, okay, the open side to be up. That's just me. You do not have to do that. So I'm going to find another. I'm going to find another pine tine, and I'm just going to use the ties on our wreath. If you guys have any questions while I'm working about anything, you just ask me, and I will answer to the best of my knowledge. But I like to give just a little bit of space, okay? That way when we go to stuff things, we have that, because this evergreen will hold a little better to stuff things with than what your regular mesh base will. You can stuff things into mesh, but it's just, there's more to hold on to it if you do it in this kind of a base. But again, I'll show you all how to do the same method and the same thing on a regular frame. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bend over, and 1, 2. Bend over once to hide our cut edge. And if you did want to do it this way, you can do a regular ruffle. But this way you have the ruffle and the curls together. And I'm just going to go right back in and find me another little tie. Make sure I'm not putting it too far over or too close. You don't have to be specific. I'm not OCD on anything until it comes to wreath making, and only certain things on a wreath. It's really weird. But we have those 3 colors, and we're just going to repeat our process all the way around. So we're just going to, again, kind of let the 21 inch go, because it likes to curl naturally. So I just let it curl naturally. I take these 2, and then I take these 2, and again fold it. How many of you all are wreath makers? Because I know this is a fake bake group, but I always like to know who all are wreath makers. Wreath making is definitely my passion when it comes to the crafting world, other than building furniture. I just don't have the workshop for building furniture. Okay? This way you kind of get this, you know, it gives it, especially with this method, it kind of gives it two different, you know, you got a poof and you got the little cruffles over here. You do both, Stacy, you as well, Michelle. Oh, everybody. Oh, yay. So you guys have probably definitely seen this method before then. Yay, I'm so glad. I love wreath making. It's just definitely one of my favorite things, maybe because that's what I started out on. I had a memory pop up yesterday, and it was when I first started about 11 years ago. It was I made a Hello Kitty wreath. Okay, so Terry, you started out making wreaths as well, and you do both. That's me as well. I actually started fake baking because, you know, sometimes making wreaths, especially if you sell them, can get a little overwhelming. And I started making fake bakes to relax from wreath making. And now I make wreaths to relax from fake baking. But anyway, I had a wreath pop up, and it was a Hello Kitty wreath, because I didn't know, at that time, I didn't know to not do trademark and copyrighted items. That is one thing I will not show you all ever how to do. Is it? You've never seen the oh, okay. Well, yay! I'm glad I'm teaching you something. Yay! It's called a butt method, and I did not come up with it. Gal versus Glue Gun did. She and I actually coach in another group together, and so I've been very excited and honored to learn a lot from Megan as well. But this wreath popped up, and you guys, I did the curl method, and it was a 21-inch mesh. I was like, oh yeah, the days before 10-inch mesh. I'll have to find the picture. It popped up in my memories yesterday on Facebook to show you all. It was horrible. it was so bad. So do you guys enjoy making wreaths? Because I know sometimes it can get a little frustrating, especially right now in the fourth quarter, because this is the busiest time of the year. This is when I'm not going to lie, this is when myself as well, myself as well as a lot of other people make the majority of their money is during their fourth quarter, because people are shopping for the holidays. The first quarter of the year, which is January, February, March, it is a little slower that time of the year. So if you're new to this and you've never gone through first quarter before, don't give up. First quarter is always slow for everybody. You enjoy it? Yeah, I love making wreaths. Like, it gives me something to do. The same as fake baking. Don't get me wrong. I love fake baking as well. There's just something about making a wreath that, I don't know. I love, you know, same as fake baking, though. Being able to take something that you wouldn't expect, you know, materials that you wouldn't expect. So, you see how I have a loose one? I'm just going to pull it. And just making something beautiful out of it. You all can see we have a big old basket full of goodies out there. Over there, different florals and some attachments that we're going to add. And if you hear my son, I apologize. He is home today working on schoolwork. You guys, next Wednesday, I'm kind of sad, and I'm like excited both. Well, not excited, I'm sad. Excited for him, I guess. But next Wednesday is his very last day of high school. Third quarter is always your slowest. Okay, so do you have a pretty good first quarter then? Yeah, third to fourth quarter, I usually get busy. Fourth quarter, of course, a lot busier than third. But first quarter, you all, if you aren't very busy, it's a good time. If you have an Etsy shop, it's a good time to go and update listings, update photos. If you're in any business classes for your business, it's a good time to go catch up or redo some training. Oh, you just started in June. Okay. Really? You do? Okay, that's awesome, Michelle. I love that. Yay. That is awesome, girl. And again, I'm just using that mesh as a guideline, because y'all, I can't even walk a straight line, so I can't do a poof. Michelle, you'll have to post some of your stuff and let us see all of your awesome work. For all of you all, make sure you post your stuff. Let us see how awesome you all and amazing you guys are. Like, we already know you're amazing because, I mean, you're here, right? So you're already amazing. Alright, so we're still working around. We're definitely going to need to cut some more for the top. Okay. And again, I just let it curl in and try to just make sure the curls are the same size. And I guess I'm going, let's see, how far? I'm going about 3.5, so about 3 inches in on each side as I gather. And then fold it. Oh, okay, Michelle. And then we're just going to throw it in. I guess we didn't just need 4 for the bottom. Okay, so right here we can either just put 1 in, but I'm going to try and fit both of the other collars in so it just goes all the way around. So what you all see me looking up at is my TV that you probably, well, you'll see it whenever we, I turn you around the other way. I have an HDMI cord that runs from my laptop to my TV, so I can see comments. Like, I wear glasses, but if I'm at home, I try not to put my glasses on or my contacts in. So it just helps me see. And this mesh is a little bit thicker, but it's definitely one of my favorites. Alright, and we're just going to put this right in the middle here. And again, I'm working around the bottom, so I'm trying to get them close to the bottom, but not to where they're hanging off the side. So you know how sometimes when you use a regular wreath base, your mesh can flop down on the other side. So I'm trying not to do that. So that's what we have so far. Okay, now let's cut a little more. Let's go ahead and use these 2 first, and then we'll cut some more. So again, I'm going to leave that right there. Like I told you earlier, I'm a little OCD, so I will not lay 2 collars on top of, oh, you can't even see. I will not lay 2 collars on top of each other like this. So this one will go here, this one will go here, and we probably won't add anything in right here just because we have this. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. We're just going to see what it looks like. Okay. So I'm just folding it. I'm taking my little clip. So I don't mean to keep coughing, I apologize. I'm under these lights and they make me cough. Every time I come live, that happens. Okay. So we're just going to take and put it, pull those apart a little. I'm just going to put it right here. Okay. Just like that. See, we probably won't put any on this wreath. And well, sometimes I like to leave a little bit of the, a little bit more of the base showing. Sometimes I don't. It just depends on the design. But this is going to be like a wintry design. So I want to take advantage of that evergreen that we have in our wreath by letting a little bit of it show as well. It's a little early in the day, so I apologize for that, you all. If you guys would like a later time, let me know, because I don't care one bit in the world to do a later time. So let's see, we're going to need 1, 2, we're going to need 3 more of each of those collars. So let's go ahead and grab those, and let's just cut 3 more. I try not to cut what I think I'm going to use to begin with, because sometimes I'm wrong and I don't need that many. So I usually always start out with 4 to 5 and then go from there. But Joann's you can use their wreath bases. Michael sells them, Hobby Lobby, even Walmart has some really nice evergreens. Alright, so there we go. And we need this one. And I guess I could have had half of this done to begin, and I apologize about that. I just wanted to show you all the full process of getting it done. And I told Nikki, I'm like, it will probably take me about 2 hours. So I apologize if you need to go. You always have the replay. You can come back and watch. But it usually takes me a little while to do, if I'm live doing a wreath. If I was doing this not live, probably about an hour, hour and a half. Okay. Just making sure you all can see. Stay. Pulling it tight, and just so you see how I like to pull the mesh up, that way they're not laying on top of each other. Yeah, we're definitely not adding any more 21-inch. So let's get the rest of these on. But I like to do that so they're not flat, so you get all of the fluffiness from all of your curls. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, you just ask. It can be about anything. I can even answer some fake bait questions if you want. Okay, so we're almost done with our top layer. For those of you who make wreaths, do you have a preference? Would you rather work with 10-inch? Do you like 21-inch? Do you not use 21-inch? Is there anything you guys struggle with, whether it be centerpieces? I love a really good candlestick design, so we'll be doing some of those as well. Hey, Andrea. Oh, you're fine. Listen, we are still stuffing our base because I didn't have anything prepped and ready. I wanted to do, you know, from start to finish. Right now we're just stuffing. But do you have a preference when you make wreaths? Do you dislike, I don't want to say the H word because I don't know how Facebook feels about that word. But do you strongly dislike 21-inch mesh? I know a lot of people do. They don't like it. They don't really know what to do with it. I did not have to get up at 6 o'clock this morning. I used to get up at 5 a.m. every day, and then I started sleeping until 6. However, this morning, I didn't have to get up with my son because he's home today. He'll actually probably be home until, anyway, I didn't get up until 8 o'clock. Andrea, I missed everybody this morning. I got up at 8 and had to start getting ready. It's like I got to start pulling everything out for my live. Okay, so we got one more piece of mesh to put in, and then we're going to make this oblong. But if you want to see any certain thing done, like I said, between candlestick pieces, you rarely use. They don't, Michelle. Ooh, okay. So I can do some non-poofy wreaths. I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I can do a non-poofy wreath. I can do. So do you mean like a grapevine, or they like them like to fit between the doors, things like that? I guess because my customers know I do big wreaths. It's normally what I sell. Actually, the wreath that I just sold over the weekend, you guys, was my highest priced wreath in my shop. And it is basically this same design, just with different materials. Fits between door. Okay. 10-inch. Oh, Andrea, I don't do mesh in a Christmas tree because I'm not a fan of the way it looks. Maybe because I don't do it very well either. But that's something I can show you. Well, I can work on that. I don't do it in my own Christmas tree, but I've got a small one we can work on. Fits between the doors. Okay, Michelle, we can definitely do some that fit between the doors then. I can definitely do that for you all. So we can do what's called a pancake wreath. I have those frames. I have several of those frames, and we can do those. Okay, so we have our finish. Like, look how good it matches with our Santa. Okay, because remember, again, we took our focal piece, and that's how we pulled our ribbons from our focal piece. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of flatten this. We're going to make it. They do, especially, I live in West Virginia, so, and it's, it's snowing in certain parts of our state right now. Knock on wood. Hold on. On the floor. It does not snow in my part because I don't like snow. We can break up. We've been together 45 years. We can break up. So I like to take on right there on my desk, and I kind of push. But you see how it's kind of making it oblong? Okay. I do the same thing over here on this side. And I try to make sure this is flat against, and just push. Yeah, we have storm doors here. Where's everybody from? That's something I'll always like to know. I'm in the southern part of West Virginia, not the southern part because I'd be getting snow right now, but I live right on the Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio border. So I'm going to pull 4 of these out. And I try to get, it's not very long, it's fine, my thicker, so when I'm doing this, I try to pull out, because you can see I have a variety pack. I try to pull out my thicker ones so they won't break on me. Fingers crossed they don't break on me. Kansas. Oh, Michelle, where are you at in Ohio? Kansas, you definitely need storm doors. Ohio y'all get so much more snow than us. We started to move to Columbus a few years ago, but the job my husband applied for fell through. So we're still in West Virginia. I'm in Cabell County. So I'm just going to take and feed it through. Hear that lock? That's how you know that you've done it right. Sometimes I have to second guess myself, but listen. Hear that? That's how you know you got it in the right way. Oh, another Ohio. Where are you at, Rebecca? So if you do it this way, okay, you don't hear it. Here, see? And it pulls right out. But if you do it the correct way, you can hear it. Hopefully y'all heard that. So I'm going to find my middle point, which is right here. And on my bottom ring, yeah, definitely storm doors in Michigan. Terry, are you going to be at Tammy and Mel's event in July in Michigan? I will be there. I'm excited. I've never been to Michigan. My husband used to work up there for a little while. So we could have easily have done 3 here. That's okay. Okay, so we're going to pull it. Now, see, we can't pull this one anymore. I will go right here underneath this one. Maybe. Let me get my pliers. Hold on. I'll take my needle nose. I want to pull that one as well. Hey, is it Tasha or Tatia? Oh, okay, Rebecca. Oh, Michelle. That's awesome. So I cannot wait. Terry, you're not. I wasn't sure if I was going to get to go or not, and then they had like 5 tickets left, and I just went ahead and bought my ticket. I'm supposed to be going back to work, so hopefully I can get off work to go. But we're going to be going. I'm going to drive over into Canada so I can meet Miss Nikki. I'm so excited. Tasha. Okay, that's what I thought when I seen it the other day. I don't remember whose live you were on, and I was like, I wonder if it's Tasha or Tatia. Either way, it's a beautiful name, and I like how it's spelled. Alright, so then we have our back. But I want to take some of my little pontons, and I'm just going to wrap them around to help not just camouflage this, but to help hold it. If I can find another one over here. Okay, so on this side I couldn't pull 2 out, so I'm just going to take this one. I'm going to pull it tight, and I'm just going to wrap it. So what it does, it just gives an extra little camouflage. Oh, you're welcome. It just helps give a little extra camouflage to this part of the wreath, and it helps hide this little nubby right here where we conjoined our 2 zip ties. Alright, so then I like to go back in and just kind of give it just a little more, another fluff, because we've had it laying flat. Okay, so this is what we have. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to make our bow, and we're going to put him in, and then I want to tell y'all to close your eyes, because if you weren't here at the beginning, I'm moving you all to a whole nother stand so you can see me stuff it, because I have to stuff a wreath while it's sitting straight up and down. But let's make our, so he's going to go right here, okay? So we're going to have him right in the middle, but we're going to make our bow. Actually, let's go ahead and attach him, then we'll make our bow. So I pulled out 3 black pipe cleaners, because 2 have to go around his shoes. But I like to use the big long 20-inch pipe cleaners, again from Deco, but you can also get them from the Crafty Tech guy. Those are the only 2 people that I know that sell them off the top of my head. I like these just because they are so much longer and you don't have to tie 2 pipe cleaners together. So right here at his boot, okay, this is the reason I chose black, because of his boots. I'm going to put it around. I'm just going to give it a little twist. Okay. Then I want to try and push this pipe cleaner up underneath the fur of his boot so you can't see it. Just hides it a little. Oh, okay, Rebecca, awesome. And I have been through where you're talking about. I love Columbus. I really wish we could have moved up there. We went up there and we looked at houses. We wanted to be out in the country. We found a lovely house that we liked, and it was in our budget. And I was excited because of just the cultural difference. You know, you guys got all kinds of yummy food up there and stuff that we don't have here in West Virginia. Different places to eat. You know, I like to eat. I'm fat, so that's where my mind goes to, is what kind of places do they have to eat. Alright, so I'm in Milton, if you know where that is, in between Huntington and Charleston. Alright, so now you cannot see the little pipe cleaners. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to wrap around one around Santa's neck. So I'm still going to use black because I pulled one out. But I'm going to slide under his beard. Okay, right there. So there's a little hole, I believe, right here. I can get this through. So let me get what do I do with him? Oh, there. I'm really bad about that. Oh, okay, awesome. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to slide this through right here at his beard. And if I can't get it out on the other side, we'll try to use my finger. So I don't pull on the wrong thing. Come on. I'm trying not to pull his beard up either. Okay, so the reason I do this is I like to put the pipe cleaners or wire, whatever you're using to attach. I like to make it to where you can kind of hide it. So, we could have, go up underneath his coat. No, you'll still be able to see it. Okay. So we're just going to kind of try not to strangle him. And then, voila. You can't see. You can see right there, but it'll be hid. Mostly in Huntington. Okay. Yeah, I'm 15 minutes from Huntington. So we're going to make sure he's where I want him on the wreath, which he is. And then I'm going to just take, let's start with the neck. We're going to start with his head, and I'm going to run it down through my mesh and into my frame. And I want to make sure that I'm wrapping around the wire. So, yeah. So I'm going to put him right here. And I'll flip him over. Hold on one second. Let me just make sure I got my ties. So I just lost one. Hold on. Okay. So what I mean is, see how I have, make sure you guys can see. Oh, I love our mountains until they get snow. But I have it wrapped around this wire. And I'm going to make sure, so the bottom wire, that I'm using that as not one of the ties, but I'm using that wire part of the frame to make sure that's where Santa is attached. We'll cut that off at the end, okay? So we got him there, and I am leaving a little space here because we're going to put our bow right here, probably about right here. We're going to angle the bow. So we'll do the same thing here. I'm going to pull these up, we'll pull these down, and I'm just going to make sure one goes right along the wire. And if you need to poke it through your mesh, you can, it's no problem. So there's not a hole where you want it to go. The end of your pipe cleaner should go right through your mesh if it doesn't bend up on you. I figured you were at work, Nikki, whenever you didn't answer me earlier. I was saying if they would like me to go at a different time, I can. I just had to come early today because Aiden has, well, I thought he was going to be at school today, or we would have kept it at noon. He's almost done, so like if he wants to do the rest of his work at home and not even worry about coming in, he can. He's like, okay. I don't have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. All right. I mean, what teenager's going to say no to that? But I can come on at different times. We can figure whatever, as long as it's not, you know, when I go live in the other groups, or when I have my main business class, I'm good with that. So for those who don't know, I am part of the mini mastermind group, and we have a call every Thursday. I try not to miss it. All right, so same thing here. So when I pulled this through, you see it just came straight through, and it's not around any wire. So we're going to take this one, and I'm just going to find the wire. Can you all see? Okay, and run it up underneath. Okay, and then we're just going to do it tight. Just like that. Now, let's just go ahead and wrap these. You can cut these. I just like to do this. Sometimes I cut them, sometimes I do this. It just depends on what I'm anchoring. But I just want to make sure Santa is nice and secure and he doesn't go anywhere on us. You can wait until the very end to do this if you want, but remember your bow's going to be on. And if you don't want to have to redo your bow, like refluff your bow, just do it now before you add anything else. Nikki, you work like long shifts, right? Don't you get like all your shifts in and just like all your hours in just a few days? I applaud you for that too, because there's just no way I could do that. All right, so we're just going to do it right around this one because it won't quite reach up here. And again, you don't have to do this. You could cut them off. I just like to make sure my stuff's not going to fall off. Okay? So again, kind of move that mesh around. Then here is what he looks like so far. Okay? So let's make our bow, and then I'll have y'all close your eyes unless you like roller coaster rides. And then we will fix you all. So what we'll do is I'll have to actually take the camera up out of this holder that I have on my table, the side of my table, And I will have to move you all, oh, you can't see now, over to behind me. But let's make our bows. So I love to buy ribbon in 50 or 100 yard rolls when I can find it. It's a little, sometimes it's a little more, it is more expensive, but you get a lot more. So if you do the math, you're getting a lot more. I think the most I paid for any of these was maybe $18 a roll. That's all. But we're going to use these 3. And I love to do what I call an Amy bow. Now, I don't know if y'all know who Amy Rudy Smith is with the band. But the reason I call this an Amy bow is I was fortunate enough, to get to be on stage with her at General Wholesale. Was it General Wholesale? Yeah, at General Wholesale. She needed someone to come up there with her and help her. She asked me if I would come up there, and I got to cut all of her ribbon. I got to do all the things to help her, and I was very honored because I'm a huge Amy fan, and she's such a great friend and good person. Very inspirational. But this is the bow that she makes, so I don't think it's actually called an Amy bow. I think it's a Lisa bow. I call it an Amy bow. They're friends. She won't care. So, but I do my tails a little different, but you'll see what I mean. So we're going to do a 10-inch tail to begin with. Okay, and the reason it's an Amy bow, sorry, I'm getting to drink a coffee, is who does not know how to make a bow? Let me start over so you all can see exactly what I did. There is this particular bow is not a huge bow. If you can see, like, well, you guys can't see, yeah. This bow has like a lot of ribbons in it and a lot of loops. We're not doing that. Each one of these ribbons I'm only doing 3 loops with. So I measured out, okay, from 0 to 10. I want a 10-inch tail for the bottom. Actually, let's give it a 14-inch tail, and we'll cut, so 15, let's do a 15-inch, and we'll cut more off if we need to. So we're going to, I put it down, and I just twist, okay? And the reason we give it a twist, okay, so let me know if I need to go a little slower. Can I zoom in? I don't know. Nope, I can't. Okay, I was wondering if I could zoom in right there, but I can't. So I do a twist. Okay, you want to make sure your twist is down in the middle of your bow maker. And then we're going to do let's start over. Sorry. First thing, when you're making a wreath, if you're not sure the size of the bow you want or the tail, the first thing I want to do is I want to come down, I want to measure. So this is where I'm going to put my bow, is right here. Can you guys see that? Oh, Andrea, okay, so you guys, I can show you all kinds of different bows. That is definitely something we can work on. A ton of different bows. I love bows, they're my favorite. But right here in this little spot, okay, so right here, that is where I know I want my bow. And I want my bow to hug his foot, his little body right here. Because this one is kicked out. This foot over here is like, hold on. So this foot is kicked out at an angle. So I don't want to cover that one. So I'm going to put our bow right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to measure from where I know my bow is going to be to about how long I think I want my tails. So I think this will be good, and if I need to cut it off, we'll cut it off. So that is, see if I had my measurement right. Oh, no, it was off. So that is going to be about a 17 and a half. So we'll just say it's a 17-inch tail. I'm going to make it 15 because we don't actually need them that big. So Terry, that is something you get used to, and it just depends on what you like with your wreath. And again, I'll show you different bows because I do all different bows. I just like this bow with him because he's going to be, it's going to be right up against him, and I don't want this bow to be the main focus. So if I'm doing like with a sign or something, I want the bow to be the main focus, I do a whole different bow, and that's something I will show you all as well. But I'm just going to make a loop of what I think I need, how big they are. So I kind of like that. I like that that is going to come out to about right here. Actually, let's make it a little bit bigger, because we want to sink it down in there. So right there. So that is a 7-inch tail, a 7-inch loop. So I'm glad I checked. So I'm going to do a 7-inch. So that is how I always, if I don't know, like if it's a wreath that I'm doing for, you're like this one, I don't really know. If you don't want to just guess, right there. You just figure out on your wreath what size you think the bow, like the loop and the tail that you need. And that is definitely the easiest way. Let's do 16. to figure out the size of your loops. Bows, that just on what you do, it just depends on the project and what you like. But we're going to take right here where I have my finger is where I know I want my tail to, stop. I'm going to put it down on my bow maker and I'm just going to twist. Okay, so I twisted like that. Let me show you a little closer. So I put it down in here and I do a twist. And the reason we do the twist is because we want to make our pretty side up again, okay? And let me just check something because that's not a very... We might change it up a little and do a 1.5 inch on the bottom because that ribbon doesn't seem like it is. Okay, so you see how this ribbon is standing really good? This kind of does, but it's not as thick as this ribbon. So I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to mix it up. This is something I don't normally do. We're going to mix this up though. We are going to do the burgundy on bottom, okay? Because I'm putting the thicker ribbon on bottom to help hold those loops. And what I mean is we don't want floppy loops, right? We don't want our bow just to be waving at people. It's not what we want. So we're going to go over to 7. Now, I like when I make my 7, so we're putting a thicker ribbon on bottom is what I'm trying to say. I like, okay, see how it's pooped out right there and it's not flat? I'm going to twist it. I like to make sure that my loops are up like that instead of flat, because if you flatten it, so like when we flatten this is a little bit bigger than 7, right? So if we would do this flat and just do it to 7, once we poof it up, it's really only about 6, 6.5, and we don't want that. We want a 7-inch loop. So we're going to do that there. Then we're going to come over and we twist it again, even though it's a there's not a pattern or anything like that. And you probably couldn't even tell with this ribbon if you didn't twist it, but we're going to twist. We're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to make sure our loop, and then we're going to twist. A little bit bigger. Right, there we are. 7 and 7. And then you can just, okay, so here, because remember, 3 loops. We're doing 2 on one side, 1 on the other. We're going to pinch our ribbon, just like that. So we're going to pinch our ribbon just like that. We're going to come down, and we're just going to make sure these are the same size. Okay, and we're going to push that down, but we're going to bring this one up. Grab the scissors. I told y'all you will see me with different scissors. These are my ribbon scissors. And then we're not going to need as long of a tail. So we're just going to cut it to about right there. And that is a 7-inch tail. So we did a 7-inch loop and a 7-inch top tail. That is our top tail. Again, we're doing a simple bow because we don't want our bow to be the main focus of this wreath. We want Santa to be the main focus. So then we're going to take our plaid, and this time, instead of starting on the bottom, we're going to start on the top. But see how we started from this side over here on the first one? This time we're going to start this way and do our first, because we're going to do a loop, and a loop. So you have 2 burgundy, 1 burgundy, and now we're going to make our tail 5 inches. We're going to twist. We're going to have 2 plaid on this side, and we're going to do it just a little bit smaller. Okay, so just a little bit smaller, or a little bit bigger than that side. Because we want our loops to be a different size, like a little bit smaller, not a huge drastic amount, but a little bit smaller as we go down. And I eyeballed this. So it needs to be a little bit more. But you can pull them up and measure them just like that to make sure they're the same. Okay, and the same thing here. But this time we're going to make our tail, okay, come down. And we're just going to cut it the same length. But so you just start on separate sides whenever you're doing this particular bow. That way you don't have, you know, like, say we're using 3 ribbons, we don't have 6 loops on one side and 3 on the other. It's going to, you know, be how it's supposed to be. So then we're going to take our green ribbon and we're going to do our top. Now remember, we started up here. Okay, so now we're going to start down here, but we're going to start long. So you do the opposite. You do, of however you started the last one, you're going to start here. So we started, you know, with our long tail, and we ended with our short one on our burgundy. On our plaid, we started with our short one on the opposite side and ended with our long one. So we're going to go to the opposite side again, and we're going to start with our long one, and we're going to twist. Okay. And then we're going to start our loops. Again, we're going to go just a little bit smaller. If you have a pattern ribbon like this one, it's a lot easier to tell your loops sizes because you can go by the pattern. I think that needs to be a little longer, but let's check it just in case. So again, you can do this right here. Nope, it's the right size. So you can just pop them up just like that and see how they're the same size. It needs to be a little bit smaller. Hey, Cece. Hey, Margarita. Oh, Margarita sounds really good right now. I mean, I know it's only noon. It sounds so good. And then our last one. We're going to take, okay, we folded it in half. We're going to push it right down into the bow maker. We're going to pull it this way because this is how we're ending. And we're going to cut it. Do you guys have any questions? Anything about bows, ribbon, when to use designer ribbon? I can show. I am a huge designer ribbon fan, so we'll be using designer ribbon as well on some projects. I try not to use, when I do designer ribbon, I try not to use a ton of it in one project because that just jacks the price of your wreath up. So this time we're using a 20-inch burgundy, or burlap, not burgundy. Sorry. So I had to order those. I didn't have any 20-inch, so I just got those in the other day. We're just folding it in half, and we're going to take it right down in here. Now, hand bows, I'm not great at. I can do them, but if you guys need help with hand bows, I can do those for you guys as well. Like I said, we're going to do, we'll do just all about bows. So you see how my stack is nice and neat? We want to keep it that way. So we're just going to pull tightly, and here's a trick. Twist your bow. Don't twist your pipe cleaner. Twist your bow, because that keeps it nice and tight. And that's what we want, is tightness, because we're going to start pulling on it. Okay, so I'm going to take my 3, make sure they're up here at the top. But you see how this green and this burgundy is standing up better than that 2.5 inch of the plaid? That's why we put that in the middle instead of on the bottom. I can't. Yes, Tasha, I can. So what I'll do is we'll do a whole live of different types of bows. I'll write down all the bows to make. And then I'll do some on the Easy Bow Maker. I will do some on the Pro Bow the Hand. And I will do one by hand as well. I don't do a lot of them by hand because it does hurt my hands. But for you all, I will definitely do them by hands. That way you can see all of it. But then I want to just take and pull my bottom tails around. Okay. Then we're going to start fluffing. So it just depends. Sometimes I start at the top, sometimes I start at the bottom. But as I'm fluffing, I pull and I use my hand to spread my little loopies. And I like to say the ribbon tells me where it wants to go. And what I mean by that is when you start pulling around on your ribbon, say I wanted this one up here, well, I know that one won't go up there because of the way it is in my bow. So once you start moving your ribbon, you're getting used to it, your ribbon will tell you where it wants to go, if that makes any sense. But that is our bow. Very easy. I know it's a very plain, simple looking bow. But again, we want him to be our main focus. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put our bow on. And like I said, I want it right here. Okay? Like, look how pretty that is. So we're going to take my pipe cleaner. Another reason I use a 20-inch on a bow as well, even though it's a thin bow. And I'm just going to find a place I can get it down in there. And this time I'm not going to flip it over. I'm doing the same thing though. I'm making sure it's going to wrap around that wire. But what I will do is I'll pull it up like this. Okay. to make sure, and right here is the wire. Oh, so right here is the wire. So I know that I have a piece. Oh, thank you. So I know that I have a piece on each side. So I'm just going to pull. And before I tie it, though, I just want to make sure that I do have it where I want it. And I do. So I'm going to pull it a little. I'm going to kind of get it tight. I don't want it to sink in too bad. But if it does, it's okay. I'm just going to twist it so where it's tight. And I apologize if y'all can see my head. My son said, oh, I'm getting in the shower. I'm like, well, hurry up because I need to wash my hair. So I've got to build up a hair product. I don't normally wear hair product, and I have, yeah. So anyway, so I apologize, y'all, if you can see that. All right, so here we go. So there it is with its bow, okay. It is, I think so too, Michelle, when you have multiple ribbons, it is easier to do a bow maker. And I agree 100% with that. Yes, ma'am. I'm not going to cut my bottom ones just yet. I'm going to go ahead, though, and give these just a little clippy. So I'm going to fold them. And I'm going to, oh, I didn't do it deep enough. We'll get a better angle. What the? Oh, I'm done it the wrong way. I do that, you all. Got it the right way. So we're going to get our little V. He's a little thick, but or a little deep, but that's okay. So we're going to fold it. And I do that all the time. I go to cut it the other way. I do it all the time. And we're just going to cut. Oh, I don't like how that looks. Make sure they're straight. I'm getting nervous. I'm sorry. That's better. That'll shake out. Yes, yes. That is completely fine. Oh, yay, Andrea. See, I never even think about, you do it too. I never think about Unique in the Creek. Actually, Shelby and I both coach for her as well. I just don't even think about her because she's in Canada, and I know it's a little bit more for shipping. But she may have free shipping after so much, too. I've not checked in a while. But yes, for those who are in Canada or even in the United States, she does. Unique in the Creek. She has amazing supplies. And we'll be using some of her boards as well. Okay, so we've got our ribbon cut. Again, I'm not cutting these quite yet. We're going to do that in a minute. Okay, so this is the part, you guys, if you get motion sickness, close your eyes. Because I'm getting ready to move you, we don't need those. I'm getting ready to move the entire phone, okay? So close your eyes right now. All right, everybody has their eyes closed? I'll give you a few seconds just because of delay. Okay, I'm going to move you. So this is going to get a little rough. Hi, y'all. Move you over here. I put you in over here. Okay. So let me get set up so you all can see. Okay. That might help too. Oh yeah. Okay. So then I'm just going to take, I'm going to put him right there. But you guys see the TV where y'all are? And then I'm just going to push him down. Uh-oh. Okay, a little bit more. Sorry about that. So I'm going to make sure he's over here on this. Alright, so there he is on his stand. You guys see that good? Yeah. Okay, so there he is on his stand right there. And I have to do this just so I can stuff it. So if I come over here, I'm going to be out of the way. Yeah, okay, I'm going to push this over just a little so you all can see a little better. Okay, there you go. And if that glare is bothering you all, thanks y'all. If that glare is bothering you all from the TV, let me know. I will just turn that TV off. It's no big deal because I don't want the glare to bother you all. I can't do anything about the glare from the window, but just let me know and I will turn it off. I have a big light, LED light on over here, shop light, and that's kind of making a little bit of a glare too. But let me get a drink of coffee. And let's get started. So this is what all I pulled out. So, Andrew, do you remember where he come from? I've had him for years, and I couldn't remember where he came from. So, but you see how we have this over here? We may end up, and I think we are, I think we're going to make another little bow real quick. We may end up putting a little bow right here. Maybe. But I have these 3 presents. Hobby Lobby. Okay, I couldn't remember if it's Hobby Lobby or Big Lots. So I have these 3 presents. That means everything that we're using, I'm pretty sure that matches comes from Hobby Lobby. We have these 3 presents that I pulled out because they do match. And then I pulled out some balls as well. Oh, we forgot to do ribbon tails. That's okay. We can do ribbon tails from here. So I pulled out some balls, and then we have some greenery. Let me go back real quick and do ribbon tails because I completely forgot. So I'm saying it takes me longer when I'm live because I forget the steps. Last year. Okay, I've had him for probably 2 years, something like that. But I'm going to use a ribbon tail board. This is from Hot Mesh Mom. Yeah, because my 12-inch is not in here. And I was going to use this ribbon, and I think it'll be fine for ribbon tails. So what I'm going to do is I want to see how long I want my tails, okay? So I think that's probably going to be a little too big. Okay, so this is, yep, 7 inches. Okay, so we are going to take, I have a 13 and a 14-inch board, and I'm going to use the 14. Oh, thanks, Cece. I'm going to use a 14-inch. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to need, let's see, 1, because we're going to put 1 here, even though, maybe not. Yeah, we'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to cut 10 of each. I think we're going to use 10. So I'm going to go ahead and use this, and we're going to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cece, I was sitting here thinking earlier before you came on. Yeah, I think he's a few years old, but they have tons and tons of Santas, like gorgeous Santas. And the Walmart Santa works on these as well. That's what I use. The Wreath I just sold. I thought I would have brought it in here and showed you all. Or from the ones from Walmart, but I zhuzhed up his little cup of hot chocolate and added him some fake hot chocolate in there. He's my fake baking skills. But Cece, I was thinking about you when I come live, and I was like, oh shoot, I hope this isn't the time that Cece goes live on her page. And then I want to use burgundy. So I want to bring in some more of the burgundy. Just because, you know, he has the green, and there's a lot of green that's kind of, you know, and so I don't want to overpower it with green. That's truly your decision, and once you do this for a while, your eye will tell you what color you think that needs to go more rounded. So we really only have burgundy in his coat that's kind of hidden, and then in his hat, and then some, you know, of the mesh is popping out. So I want to use, and then of course the little bow here. So I want to use some more burgundy. But, so I like I get my ribbon tail boards from Hot Mesh Mom. Five, 6, 7, 8. I can't talk while I'm doing that or I'll lose count. I'll just start all over. So we'll pull it out. And then I'm just going to cut. Just like that. I keep forgetting y'all are at a different angle. Okay. And then I'm going to cut these. So I'm going to do 4 at a, actually let's do 5 at a time. My scissors are pretty pretty sharp, and this isn't hugely thick ribbon. So we're going to do 5. I'm just going to bend it in half. Oh, so you were on. I'm so sorry. Yeah, and then all I'm doing is I'm cutting down at an angle. I'll have Nikki have me put me on a different time. I thought I was picking Aiden up from school today, and he has a hair appointment, so I knew it was going to take me a little while to do this, so I didn't want to be rushing. For those of you who've never shipped a wreath before, I do have a wreath I have to ship out, and I have to make a box for it because my wreaths are long, just like this is going to be long. The wreath I'm getting ready to ship out is 36 inches long, so I have to make a box. So I told Nikki I will have my son, since we'll do it tonight because it has to be out by tomorrow. I'll have him help me, and I'll have him video how I make the box, and then I'll do a video of how I specifically, what I do when I ship a wreath. Another reason to use the 20-inch pipe cleaners, I tie my wreaths down to the box. I don't like, I'm getting ready to tell my son to be quiet, I think. If y'all can hear him, I'm sorry. Oh, isn't this pretty? My daughter's probably going to want it when she sees it. But I tie my wreaths down to my box. That way they don't move around. When my customer opens the box to their wreath, I want it to look exactly like it looked in my Etsy listing. I don't want my bow smashed. The customer should never have to refluff a bow when they get their box. You can't hear anything? Can anybody else not hear? Let me know. Let me know if anybody else is having problems hearing. Someone tell her she might need to go out and come back in if you don't mind. You can hear me? Okay, well, somebody let her know. Oh, you can't hear my kid. Okay. I was like, oh, no. Listen, sometimes he gets loud. If I was on the Me Bell, y'all be able to hear him. I think he's got all these work done, so he's in there on video games. He's 18, so sometimes he thinks he's an adult because he's 18 and he thinks he can cuss at Mom's house. I know he cusses when he's not here. I mean, come on, I did the same thing. But no, ain't gonna be no 18-year-old. You can't cuss. I don't care. You're still a child in my house. I don't want to hear that nasty stuff coming out of your mouth, even though I have the mouth of a sailor. If you've ever been around me in person, you know I got the mouth of a sailor. He doesn't need to talk like that. So I just layer mine just like that. I do a little fold, okay, I press it shut, and then I just do like an accordion fold. Now here's the thing, you see how I do that with my hand? That helps give them a little extra, you remember the birds that we used to draw in school? That's what I look. Right, do as I say, not as I do. So there you go. So it's what I kind of like them to look like the little birds that we use. Well, unless you can draw, I can't draw. So I'm going to start right. Let's start up here. So I'm going to start right here, and I want to go in between the mesh. I'm going to lay it right here on this green mesh. I'm going to use this. Actually, let's put it back. Hold on. This is another thing when I'm designing. I like to figure out my placement before I put it in there, okay? So, I like this, and it's also why I create on a stand. I want it there. Or do I want it back in the back? Let's do it on this outer ring, and then if we need to put some on the inner ring, we will. Okay, so I'm going to take right here in between where these meshes are, where I left some of my greenery showing. We're going to take it, we're going to push it down in there, and we're going to just use our ties. You don't need a lot of your own ties on this wreath because these frames have all these pine ties. Okay, so we got it right here, and then I'm going to take and I want to separate. But again, I'm going to take my finger and I want to run it again. Okay, so I have a burgundy here, I want my burgundy up here. I'm going to make like an X, and the same thing. If you notice, I do it automatically because that's just how I've always done it. And what that does, if you've ever wondered how people get that little, how they look like they're coming out instead of just straight, that's how. So can you guys see that okay? I'll get it closer. Hold on. Oh, I don't want to move the stand. I'll get you all closer next time. You see how that is kind of coming out like that? And I'm so sorry I forgot to put these on here while y'all were at the other camera angle. So we're just going to go around, and hopefully I didn't cut too many, because sometimes I think I know the exact amount and I don't. If you guys notice, I keep flipping these. This is the why. So you can kind of see the stitching. See the edge of the stitching there? That's the back side. So when you flip it over, you can only see burgundy. So there you can kind of see like, oh, you can kind of see like a little bit of white. So I just make sure that that's just me. I don't think your customer would notice it. It's just that OCD in me. Okay, so we'll do the same thing. We're going to fold them in half. And then we're just going to like do an accordion fold. And then just make our little bird. And we're going to come right up above it. And again, I'm just using the ties that we already used. I'm not untying them because nothing else is going to go in it. Okay. So this time though, we have a burgundy here. I don't want this burgundy one to be touching that one. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to make sure that our collars are not beside each other. You don't have to do that. You can do it however you want it. I'm just really, really weird. You're OCD like that too? Oh, I'm glad it's not just me, Rebecca. Okay. Because I was like, it's just my OCD when it comes to wreaths. And if you guys want me to show you how I do this again, let me know. But, you know, it's the same thing. And I don't have a stool with me. My table won't go down any further. I got stuff up underneath it. Alright, so overlook me going on my tippy toes, I'm short. So we're going to do it right about, let's do it here. We're going to do it right up here behind him. Okay. And just like that. Turn it around. I'll put this over here. We don't need that anymore. Again, I normally do this laying down. I just completely forgot. And once I'm looking at this, there's a huge gap right here. I don't think I like that. So we're going to move this down. We're going to move this to about right here. I just don't like, so there's, I don't know, there's this much space here. Yeah, there's about an inch or two bigger. So let's untie that. Fold it back. Put it right here where I originally thought I was going to put it. I'm bad about going against my own judgment sometimes. And not putting stuff where I know it needs to go. I like ribbon, so I like ribbon tails. If you don't like, so these aren't, so I gave this a little pull because they weren't quite even. This side was longer than this side. Just want to do that. Make sure we got our little fluffings. That looks so much better, I can already tell. Just, I like that. I like that. My son is 5'9" and he thinks he's short. I'm like, shut up and get your shoes on and go to the store with me so you can reach the stuff I can't reach. I don't tell him to shut up, but that's what I want to say. But I guess poor guy, he is short. Hopefully he didn't hear me say that. I try not to say that. Alright, so I know that this one's going to go right here. And this time, sometimes they go perfectly in with the mesh in the spots that you have already, you know, that you already have your mesh. Sometimes they don't, so I just put it in between and I just use my ties. Okay? Because we're going to be stuffing it anyway in just a second as soon as we get these ribbon tails on. Now, I like to go in different layers whenever I'm stuffing a wreath. I have 1, 2, 3, I think 4 or 5 different types of greenery. One thing that I learned, because I used to be scared to stuff them like full like this. I've always stuffed wreaths, just not quite as full as I do now. But one of the things that I like to do is I've learned anyway, I should say, is I always pull out way more supplies than I need. It just seems to work better that way. Let me grab these over here so I don't have to keep going in front of you all. because you know, if you never know how much you're truly going to need. Oh, I put that on the wrong way. And I used to not pull out enough, and I would get frustrated in a project, and I would just rip it apart and be like, I'm not doing it. I'm not stuffing another wreath because I can't get it to how I want it. And one of the things I've learned from watching people and doing more is if you just pull out more product than what you think you're going to use. It's the same way with a grapevine. Just pull out more product than you think you're going to use. So if you are a hoarder like me, it comes in handy. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull them around. And the same over here. Oh, that needs to be a little tighter. I'll tighten that later. But again, I don't want two of my collars beside each other. And we won't always do full stuffed wreaths like this. Like I said, I will be more than happy to do storm door wreaths, the thinner wreaths. We'll be working with grapevines. We'll do door hangers. We'll do centerpieces. Again, I absolutely love candlestick pieces, so we'll do some candlestick pieces and all of those good things. So I definitely cut probably a few more, maybe one more than what I needed, but that's okay. Sorry, just making sure that ribbon is the right way. That's awesome, Sherry. Girl, do you got snow over there in your part of Kentucky? There is snow over in Ghent, West Virginia, down in like I think Ghent's over in like the Beckley, close to Beckley. A little bit more southern than what I am. So yeah, I probably cut one more than I need, but that's okay. So we're going to cut one here. So now we're getting low. Let me pull my table up. For those who don't know, I have a bad back. So this table is amazing for that. And like I said, I have a lot of business classes that I have to go to, and they're usually virtual or like through Zoom. So I sit in here and lower my table and sit in my chair. Not yet. I don't want it here. You guys, Sherry lives like 45 minutes from me over in Ashland. So from you all who are from Ohio, Sherry, I hope you don't care. I'm telling you where you like. Telling them where you live, Sherry. She lives over in Ashland. All right. So again, you see how though I'm doing the opposite kind of. When you get to here, they're gonna touch. I don't know. That's probably going to end up getting cut a little shorter. We'll see at the very end if I like it that short or not. Oh, I did, Sherry. Hold on one second. Rebecca, that's too funny. You are a nice height for a woman. That is awesome. I just want to know, though, is it hard for you to find jeans? Like, it's hard for me to find jeans that aren't too long. Is it hard for someone who's tall to find jeans that aren't too short? Sherry, yes, I did hear back from my doctor. So I had polyps. I have polyps on my ovaries, but she says that won't cause pain. So I'm like, then what's causing my pain? But at least I know that it's not nothing bad. So we're going to put one right here. And then I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick that other one up over here. Even though we have our bow here and you can see, you know, our bow, you can see our tails, you can see all of that, we're still going to put one up underneath our wreath, or up underneath our bow, because if someone has stairs and someone is coming up the stairs, they can see this wreath, right? Well, we don't want them to see any blank spots. We don't want our eye to ever stop. So if you're coming up the steps of someone's house and they have this hanging on their door, they can see this part. So you want this part to be designed. You don't want it to be bare. You want it to be. I've always wondered that about tall people as well. You'd think that designers would know this stuff by now. But you don't want this to be bare. You want to decorate the underside too. And I know that kind of sounds weird. And I used to think, oh, it's a waste of product, blah, blah, blah. But then I went to someone's house and they had stairs. And I seen a wreath that I made for them, and the underside was all bare. And I was like, nope, that is not a finished wreath. So it was a friend of mine. So don't you think I didn't tell her I got to take that home and finish it. And I brought it back home, and I fixed that bad boy. So this one is going to go right over here. Okay. Now we're going to start stuffing. Stuffing time. And I'll pull out all of our greenery. I have my glue pot turned on, and my glue gun and my glue pot is both on because I use both sometimes. Okay, so there we have it with all of our ribbon tails as well. That's good. I need to shop in the petite section, and I don't know. I don't really go out and shop. I'd rather do it online, and it's always hard to find stuff online. So let me pull all of these out. Okay, so we got a lot. Let me show you what all we got. And I'll put it back over in the chair. I don't want it all over my table, because I don't want to get it all in the glue. Okay, so we have, and we probably won't use all of this, but this is what I pulled out. So I pulled this out. I love this. And it is from, it's not from Hobby Lobby. I don't know where that's from. It doesn't really have a number on it. So I like this. It's really pretty and frosty. Yes, exactly, Sherry, exactly. Again, we may not use this because it is a little frostier than what he kind of is, but we have this one. Okay. And I pulled out some crayon apples because he has, you know, the little bells here, but right here on his little pine cones, and I normally don't like pine cones in a wreath, but we're going to let him keep his two little pine cones. And, you know, let's give him a little extra shot of glue. Pull this back down. Because his little... hold on one second, I'm sorry I'm in the way. So, this little string here was loose. So I just gave him a little fresh shot of glue to glue that to his hand. Okay, so but he has little crayon apples right here on his little pine cones, and we're going to let him keep his pine cones. So I pulled out the crayon apples in case we wanted to use that. The majority of my greenery comes from, like I said, Deco Exchange. I also order from the White Bayou Boys, the White Bayou Wreath Boys, because I love those guys. They have great stuff. This, I believe, came in a Wreath subscription box, but I could be wrong. I also order from Jam Designs, you all. But you see how this, I like to find pieces that you can get multiple pieces off of. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different clippies. I think it's 5. 4 or 5. Yeah, 5 clippies that we are going to use. Because we're going to pull these off. We're definitely going to use these. So we might not need our big crayon apples because we have these little berries, right? So we're definitely going to use that. I'm going to leave this one out. It's probably... no, we won't use that one first. We're going to use the bigger stuff first. Okay. We also have this that has the little berries on it as well, and it's a little frosted. So I really like this as well. And then, just a second of that. I pulled this out just in case. Sorry. I don't think we'll use this one. This did come from White Bayou. I don't know if we're going to use this one. It's a big one. This is why I didn't give you all a supply list yet, because I never know what I'm going to use. But this is really full. Actually, this might have come from Jam Designs, now that I think of when we were down there for SOTS. So this one is jammed full, and it's got lots of pine pieces and a few pine cones and some eucalyptus. I'm not good with the names of flowers, thanks to Jordan Matthew. If y'all don't know who Jordan is, I'm sure most of you do. When he says hi eucalyptus, that's me. There's an inside joke between the two of us. that's a little dirty, and I don't want to say on here. It wasn't me who did it, it was him. But this we're definitely going to use. So this is some pine, and I love this. Like, look at this. So we're going to start out actually with our bigger piece, because you want to start with your bigger pieces. Okay? So I absolutely love this. So we're going to get several pieces off of this. And I think this came from Deco. I'm not sure, you guys. I'm the worst about writing on my supplies where I get them from. And I order from several people because I try to spread the love. So I'm just going to take my clippers. And let me scoot Santa back just a little. And I'll push him forward again so you all can see a little better. I want you guys to see this. So I'm just going to take, and I may have to get my stem cutter out, but I'm just going to, I'm going to use both hands. Okay. And I'm just going to cut this off. Ooh, oh, I love this even better. Did you guys see that? Okay, there's something on my floor there. So it actually come off into 3 pieces, and I love that. So, because what we'll do is we may not use this big piece right here, because it looks like it'd be better for like a centerpiece, but we'll see. We may use that. We are definitely going to be using these in the pine. So let's just cut a few more off. Like I said, I'm not sure about that big piece. This is really like one big piece is what these are, but we're cutting into multiples. Let's try to leave that on. And if we need those, we'll cut that off. So I'm just going to cut some more off. And let's see. And I try to work in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I try to work in odd numbers. So we may not need that one either. So there's just one of that. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more if we need them. Oh, there's another one of those. Oh, nope. We got 3 of those. So let's grab those 2. Yay. Okay. So this one that has the 2 different textures, there's 3 of those. We'll use this. And again, you don't always use a whole stem. Not always. You want to, hey Sarah, how are you? You want to be like Jordan when you grow up? Listen, I'm just going to give you all a piece of advice about Jordan. I love me some Jordan, first of all. I've learned this over the years. I've known Jordan for several years. For those who don't know, I've been in this, even though I don't have a huge page following, because I don't go live like I should, I've been in the community since it first started online. And Jordan, if you ever go shopping with him and you see something that you like that he likes, get in front of him in the line, because you ain't going to get none. Jordan, well, when Patricia comes out, Patricia likes to shop, y'all, and Patricia shops. Okay, so we're going to take our 5 pieces, oh, my back, that we have that are just like this. They're pine. And I'm going to place them in before I glue them. I like to do a dry run. It just gives me more confidence if I do that. Okay? We're going to add in our balls and our presents a little bit later. And I'm still debating on a bow. We might end up adding a little bow here of just the green and the burgundy. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to see. But we're going to start, and I'm just going to kind of go around and just kind of like place, you know, my pieces where I think I want them. So that is what, about 12, between the 12 and the 1 right there. And then I'm just trying to stick it to where I know it's going to have, I don't like that. So this is why, again, I do a dry run. Because I don't always like where I go to place them. So let's come over here on this side first. But this is really good if you aren't good at stuffing wreaths. I do like that. To do a dry run. Because, you know, you could always pull it out if you glue it in and you don't like how it looks. But to me, it's just easier if you do this dry run before you go gluing. And then, right, yeah, you can see how far it needs to get back. that like that. This is actually going to get cut a little bit shorter, more than likely. More than likely, that one's going to get cut shorter. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to put something else coming out the bottom. So we're not going to worry about that because we only have 5 of these. So we're going to stick 1 here. Okay, right there. And then this one, let's see, I like to take a step back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to put this one right here. Kind of right there. Okay. So kind of where I was trying to place it earlier, but I wasn't real sure of. Alright, so right there is our placement of our first greenery. You guys like that so far? I don't know how well you can see it. Let me see something. Hopefully this doesn't make it too dark in here. I think, oh, is that better? That actually might be a lot better for you all. Can you see it better now? Oh, no, that's a glare. Nope, never mind. That is way too much of a glare. Okay. Turn that back on. Alright, I was hoping that was going to help. I was wrong. Yeah, nope, nope, nope. Okay. Sorry about that. Alright, so now we're going to take, and we are going to put these things in. We're going to glue them in. So I'm going to take my glue gun. Again, I keep both out because I never know which one I'm going to use. I'm going to pull it out. Alright, let's just go ahead and dip it in our glue pot. I'm just going to dip it in my glue pot. I'm going to swirl it around, try to get the drippy glue off. I don't want it drippy. Oh, I got my, so I have my glue pot up too high, so let me turn that down. So if your glue pot gets really, really drippy, it's a little too high. So we're just going to put that in there. I'm just kind of wiggling it as I push it in there so it attaches to the pine. Okay, that's in there. Because see how now we can't pull it out? That's how we want it. We want it in there good. Okay, put my finger right here so I remember where I had it. Just going to stick it down in there. Okay. Now, I'm going to use my glue gun over on this side. Draw a little over there. So pull that out. Remember where it goes. And then so I'm out of Gorilla Glue, but usually if I'm using my glue gun, I am using Gorilla Glue. I like Gorilla Glue glue sticks. They hold really well. Oh, and they dry faster. So when we get done, we'll do a pull test. And what that means is I will go and I'll just pull to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be and that it stayed glued. The glue sticks I'm using right now is from Amazon. I don't know the name of them because I already tossed the bag. But you can see how the smoke coming up. Okay. Where it's getting hot. So let me turn this down. Oh yeah, it's because my glue gun is set at 446 degrees. It does not need to be that high. And then we're going to take this one out. Now I want to remember it goes right there at the top. Because I use a U-line glue gun. You don't need this big of a glue gun. I won a $100 gift card to the place that sold it, so I only had to pay $25 for it. But you don't need a huge, expensive glue gun like this. Any glue gun will work. Okay? It's just more about the kind of glue sticks you use. So there we have our first bit of greenery just sticking out. You know, let's see something here. I just, like, glare is bothering me, and I feel like it's bothering you all. So let's just see something. Is that going to help with the glare any at all? Let's see if it does. Maybe a little. Let me know if that helped any. Okay, I think it did a little. Alright, there we go. Okay, so we got our first set of greenery in. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take these 3 pieces that we had. Hey, Tisha. And we're going to fit these in. So we're going to, because remember, we only have 3 of these. So we for sure going to put one up here. We're going to put it right there. I'm just going to go ahead, So I know that's where I want it for sure. I know I said that I like to pre-place, but I know for sure that something's got to go there, and this is going to be it. So when you're only using 3 things, it's the same thing if you're doing a Christmas tree. If you don't know this, try to do and I just kind of took and just spread it a little. What I mean is it has these little things on the end, so I just kind of spread them out. Oh, thanks, Tisha. Do a triangle pattern. So we have one here, so then I'm going to put one here, and then we will go in and probably put one, hold on, I got to take a step back again. Like I said, I know we have this one here, and I feel like it could go, this one could go here. Turn it around. This one's probably going to go right, oh no, right there. Okay. And this one, spread these out, are going to go I'm looking. Right there? No. Is there one? Let's put it right here. Oh, no, it's right there. Wait a minute. I'm trying to think. This is just part of the process, you all. I'm sorry. Oh, thanks, Tisha. This is why I knew it would definitely take more than an hour, because it does take the process of me. And this is another reason why I do this, because I step back and I try to look at placement. So I think it needs to go right there. So let me take a step back and look. I keep crossing in front of you all, and I'm sorry. So what it is I don't want like 2 greeneries too close, and I don't want any, as you see, I'm not putting anything right here because we have a lot more greenery to add. So I think this is how the placement that I want. So we're just going to pull this out. Since our glue pot, oh, I'm almost out of glue in my glue pot. So for those of you who use a glue pot, do you have glitter and everything else in yours like I do in mine? Glitter goes, it's everywhere. I know you all know that too. Okay, I'm just going to spread those out. Take our glue gun over here to this one. Then put some glue on it. And just stick it right down in there. Okay, and just kind of spread those out. So then we have those. So let's go ahead and let's get our bigger pieces. And I'm talking about our balls. And I thought I had 3 of these. I'm going to say that these big balls, I'm going to say that they probably got put in storage, because I've just left the things out for this wreath only. Everything else Christmas wise is put up. They're just put away. So we only have 2 of these. So we want to be strategic about where we place these 2 balls. So these are from the at-home store from, let's see if it says, they're from a few years ago. Y'all, I'm really bad about buying things and not using them. So, okay. But we're going to cut our top off. Is that what it is? Okay, that's fine. I'll use my computer then. I was trying to figure out what it was. See if that's better. Okay, because I have this light up over here too. That's a little bit of a glare. Is that better? You all let me know. Like I told Nikki, I'm going to have to get a better little setup to do. I'm not used to doing wreaths on a live anymore because I have to put them on a stand and my Mevo's over there. But I can move the Mevo around. You're welcome. Yeah, because I got the computer right here so I can see. I just like when I go live, when I'm doing fake bakes and stuff, which I haven't been live on my page in forever. But now if you all wonder why I don't do Wreaths live, this is why. Because of the way my setup is. So I took and I cut these off, the little thingies, because I want you to be able to see this ice part. Now these are soft, and what I'm getting ready to do, where are my picks? You don't have to do, but if you wanted to, this isn't an actual skewer, but I kind of made it one. You could take and you could put a skewer in the bottom of this, which is what we'll do on our our presents, but I'm just going to glue these in. But I think instead of putting a bow, now that since we only have 2 of these, because I wanted a bow right here, I think we're going to put a ball, an ornament ball right here. We're going to put it this way, okay? So I think that's definitely going to go there. And then this one is going to go there. So it's okay if you only use 2. I do like to do in odd numbers, but I can't find this third one. So what'll happen is I will pull out all of the Christmas stuff for next year this summer, because I start kind of early, and I gotta get another glue stick, and I'll find it. Yeah, if anytime there's a glare, let me know, and I'll fix that. That's why I put that white thing up to try and help with that. And I was thinking that turning that light, the light over here would help, but it definitely did not. So I'm going to spread this, because I have that pine sticking up, and I'm going to put it down in there, trying not to hit my hand. I'm going to hold on to my board, and I'm just going to wiggle, because again, I want that glue to touch as much surface as it can to hold in there, okay? So now it's good in there. So we have that there. We'll go back in and fix our tails when we get done. And we may not use, we're going to use those presents. Yeah, I already know where the presents are going to go. In my head, I do. So I think we're going to put this one. I keep thinking right here, but let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to place it right here, okay? Maybe. I'm going to place it here. Stay. For 2 seconds, stay. Sometimes you got to talk to them, y'all. Stay. And I'm going to take a step back, and I'm going to see, is that too close? I don't think so. I'm fine with them being diagonal across from just like that. And it helps. So we're going to take them, we're going to do the same thing. Come over here this side. Pull that ribbon tail down. Okay. So again, I'm exposing that pine. Putting a lot of glue. I like to use a lot of glue, y'all. Oh yeah, it's almost 1 o'clock, y'all. It shouldn't be too much longer, I promise. Okay, and then we're just gonna, I'm gonna hold it just a little, just to give it a little extra. I'm holding on to my wreath stand as well. As you see, I'm kind of wiggling. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay. There we go. So now you have Santa and his 2 balls. Okay, so then we're going to take our presents. And these I know came from Hobby Lobby. Pretty sure they did. Oh, that is loose. So we got a piece that's loose. We got 2 pieces that's loose. So let's fix this. So we got some bells, and then we got a piece of greenery that came loose. So let me get my glue gun. So just a dab of glue here. Stick that there. I'm just going to put my, there we go, my little bells right there. Okay. And we're not done. We still have some more greenery to add. But we're going to take it, we're going to put a present here. And again, we're going to do a pre-run because we may not need these. It may be too much. Hey, Robin, how are you? Oh, you're fine. I hope everything was good at the doctor. So we're going to put one here. Actually, you know what? We might not, let's not add these. Let's add our greenery, and then we might come back in with these. But I think these might be too much because because what I'm afraid of is I'm afraid that these there, and then I was going to do it's going to be too much. So if we hadn't put the balls, we would have done these. But again, like I said, pull out more than what you think you're going to use. The Santa came from Hobby Lobby a few years ago, but I'm sure they have more like that or sort of like that. These come from Hobby Lobby as well. But again, we're not going to use these because, again, I think it's just going to be too much. Now, you could have stopped before we put our greenery on, before we put our balls on, and it would have been fine. But we're going to keep adding some more greenery. But like I said, I don't want these because these are going to overpower Santa, and I want Santa to be our focal point. So we just eliminated these. So now let's go in and let's add these greenery. So we're going to add that one for sure. It did take it away from it, didn't it? Yeah, so, and that's again why I like to design. I can't picture what the wreath is going to look like in the end. I didn't have my glue gun to where if it drips, it was going to drip on my glass instead of the piece of towel. So I like to design like this so I can step back and I can get a look at it. That's just me. You design however is more comfortable for you. But we're going to take these because I really like these with like the frosted greenery and the little berries. For one thing, the frost, you know, it's this. It matches that. I am going to say these came from, let me think. These have either come from Gin with Jams Resupplies. I think it's Jams Resupplies. Or these have came from Deco Exchange. Because I'm remembering what I bought when I was in Louisiana. And I know I didn't get them there. So I'm just kind of just pulled it off. So sometimes you can pull them off. And that's just like I like to do. These are pretty cool, aren't they? Now these ones I think are going to be a little bit, hang on a second, because there's, okay. So these, oh, they make a mess too. They're glued, the little thingies, they were glued together. Okay, so let me grab my pliers. Let me just cut these. I'm just going to cut these as close as I can get to the branch, or to the stem here. And there is 1, 2, there's 5. So I've got 2 of these, which is why I think they must have come in a resupply box. You know, I have so much that I haven't ordered. I don't really order anything anymore, honestly. I get the resupply box each month and I get stuff in there, but I've got so many supplies that I need to use what I got. I do encourage you to use what you have. That's just me. But I do have 2 of these. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I got these in a resupply box because I wouldn't have bought 2. Or I bought them when I went down to Wreath Makers Live when we were at Trent and Michael's shop. So, again, I'm going to place them where I think I want them. Okay. So, and one thing I am going to tell you about placement, this is going to get a little dirty, so I apologize. But see how I have this here? If Santa was lower, we wouldn't want to place this here because, y'all, like, what's that look like? You know what I mean? So always think about placement, okay? We don't want to get in trouble. We don't want naughty stuff. You know, we don't want Santa to be on the naughty list. He needs to stay on the nice list. So again, we're just going to go in and I'm just going to place them. If we need to pull the other one out, we will. Just going to place them where I think they need to go. Right? So, I mean, you know, we don't want Santa to be naughty. If he wants to be naughty with Mrs. Claus later, that's on him. He can do that. Right now, we need him to behave. So we'll put that one there. I think I'm going to take and put this one here. We definitely need something here, and we're probably going to end up putting this other one there. We're going to end up cutting some of this other one off, and that's fine. I'm not a big fan of that huge gap. Let's actually put that one there. Yeah, we're going to cut the other one. We're going to do this one right here. I like this one, so I actually want to use both of them because I won't use it with anything else. We're going to put this one here. Oh, it's good to see you, honey. Yeah, I'm so glad. Yeah, I hope everything goes okay at the doctor, Sherry. Right? I mean, Santa can get a little naughty. Listen, he made that naughty and nice list for a reason. He knows. He knows when you've been naughty. Because he's naughty too. Right. So let's just go ahead and use all of this one as well. So like I said, I'm just going to have to take it up to the storage unit and open up the storage container and stick it in there if we don't. But we are getting ready to start on like Valentine's season. If you haven't already switched your seasons out, you should. Unless you sell local and you still have orders coming in for Christmas, you know, work on some more winter stuff because it is winter, especially if you live in an area like I do. But, you know, you need to be thinking about, if you do New Year's Eve, this is the time to do New Year's Eve. And let me just tell you, for fake bakes as well, New Year's Eve is a good thing for those as well. So think about your spring, think about your Valentine, your Easter, your St. Patrick's Day, and your Mardi Gras. If you do Mardi Gras, this is the season. Oh, thanks, Nikki. Listen, you missed our little talk about Santa being naughty and not to put things between his legs. So we have this one here. This one's a little longer, so let me switch this one out. Okay, so we have that one here. And then let's put this one. Nope, we're going to put it. Because of this bow, there's a little less room over here. We're going to take a ruler, we're going to put one underneath, so we're going to come right here on this side, and we're going to stick that one right there, because we want our customers to see something on all of it. A tip that I learned a while ago from someone in the community when doing wreaths is your eye should never stop. And what that means is when you do a wreath, that might be a little too close. We'll see. I'll take a step back and see if it's too close. But your eye should never, ever stop. So what that means is if someone is looking at your wreath, okay, then when you're looking at it, your eye should just go all the way around. It should never stop. Like right here, when I look at this right now, my eye stops here in this section. And this needs, yeah, because there's none of these right here. Right here is an open gap. Even though we have this greenery here and this greenery here, right here, my eye stops. This one's shorter. Choose this one. My eye stops right there. Okay? Ow! If y'all of you use those, be careful. That just got me right underneath my fingernail, and that hurt. But let me go back over here. So I'm looking over here, okay? And so I'm standing back and I'm looking. I'm starting right here at the bottom. So I'm looking around. I'm going this way. I know that this needs moved down just a little bit. It needs moved in to right there, right? Okay, because you don't want any open gaps. So right there, and then I see there's something right here. So we need something back here. We have one more. I'm going to take this one. We have all that glue back there. So we probably should have put this in first, but that's okay. It's still going to have things to stick to. Hold on to my stand. Hold on to my wreath, actually. Okay. Come back over. So, I'm looking, and so far I like it. My eye's not stopping anywhere else. So I like that. My eye's not stopping. But you see what I mean? But crafting is dangerous, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm waiting on it to start bleeding. But again, when you're looking at a wreath, your eye should never stop. It should go all the way around. So when you're looking at it, and if you're looking and your eye stops and you're like, oh, okay, I need something right there. And again, it's just more, the more you do it, the more experience you get. We've got, let's glue these in. And then y'all, we got one more piece that we're going to add, maybe not, we're going to see. Because it might be too much. But then we're going to be done. Oh yeah, Nikki, I knew 2 hours. I really thought I was going to be about 2.5 hours. I'm not going to lie. It takes me a while because I talk and I like to explain whenever I'm doing this. But I knew if I went at noon like I normally do in groups, that there's no way that I would be done. Because like I said, I thought I was going to go pick my son up. He has a hair appointment, and I was going to pick him up from school. Okay, so yeah, we just glued that one. Okay, so let's go in and let's glue these. We're going to be real careful putting this one in because, don't drip, just making sure it doesn't drip. It has to go in right behind this ball. Alright, okay. And you all, again, pre-placement is key. If you don't, or if you aren't used to stuff in a wreath, if you aren't used to putting this much in, pre-placement is the key, okay? Right? I'm telling you. The other day, I'll show you all the cake I made. Hold on, I'll go get it. It's right outside the door here. I I had to hide stuff since y'all will be seeing so much in my craft room. I was making a New Year's Eve cake. Nikki, do you care first if I show this cake? Because I want to show y'all what I'm talking about. I use super glue, and I don't normally use super glue because I'm not careful. It gets all over me, and it was all over me. And I could have went out and committed a crime, and nobody would have ever known it was me. Like, I couldn't even unlock my phone with my fingertip because it was unrecognizable. Because I had so much glue on my fingers. It was crazy. And I sit and peeled and peeled and peeled, and I got it and washed and washed and washed, and I finally got it all off. And I'll be daggone if I didn't come in here and start working again. Right, Crafters Insurance. If I didn't start crafting again and making more fake bakes, and I got it all over me again. I'm going to show you guys this. I love this cake. It's still in the middle of drying. I've got to actually go spray it with my sealer. Let me grab another glue stick. Okay. I'll have to move this chair though. But yeah, we definitely, like, if you have fingerprints left from hot glue burns, oh, that one was right. I hope it was right there because that's where it's going. I forgot where it came out of. That's where it's going, that right there. This one is right above Santa. I think I'm going to have to get a step stool and bring it in here. Okay. And that's going to go right. Oh, go on down in there. There we go. Okay. So he's pretty full, right? And oh, I've missed you. Hey, Christine, thank you, honey. I've missed you too. I do need to go live on my page, but this is why I don't do lives on my page whenever I'm making wreaths, because of the way I have to set it up. But let's see. I don't know. Let's just take a gander here to see what this is going to look like. I love this. I'm not so much as going to use the curly cues. And remember, you guys, when you're using a pick, you don't have to use everything that's on here. Like, I'm not going to use these curly cues on here, okay? Let's just see something, because I really like these. Like, it has a lot of dimension. So it has, like, this textured, whatever that stuff is. And it has the little balls. And then it has, like, this mossy covered stuff as well. And when you're doing wreaths, especially a wreath that is supposed to be, like, the outdoors, think about the outdoor elements. Or if you're doing a floral wreath, think about how things in the outdoor grow. They grow, different colors and things like that. You don't always have, like, the dark green stuff here, the light green stuff here. They all intertwine and mingle together. But I'm wondering, and this might be too much. I'm thinking it probably is. But let's just see. Let's just see. Oh, no, I like that. Oh, that's okay. I like that. So let's see where we can get more. We may only use 3. Let's just see. But I really like this. I think it's pretty. Oh, yeah. Hot glue burns are horrible. When I was working as a medical coder here locally, I come into work with hot glue burns all the time. And I was working in neurosurgery. I was a coder, medical coder. But one of the physician assistants wrote me a prescription for Silvadine. The best stuff ever. So we have that one there. That one's a little short. Let's see something here. Oh, my tummy's a growling. I'm sorry, y'all. So that one was a little short. So I want to be able to put it down in here. So I'm thinking there. Oh, yeah. There. I love that. I'm so glad we went ahead and did this. That one there. 1, 2. 1, 2. We might end up using all 5 pieces. Maybe not. Just 3. And then let's see. 1, 2. This one. Yeah, let's use all 5. So we're going to go underneath again. And let's stick that one there. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. We have 2 more left. And let's cut this one a little longer. If you're hungry, go make yourself something to eat. Okay. Sorry, I heard him come out, and I know he was hungry. My belly's grumbling. His is too. He's getting ready to go make himself something. It's a good thing about having an 18-year-old. They can cook for themselves. So we got 1, 2, 3. I kind of really want to stick one there. Work it into the bow. We're not going to worry about that. 1, 2, 3. Let me take a step back again for this side. 1, 2, 3. It needs to go 4, 5. So 4. I'm thinking I'm going to layer these two, I think. That's a lot of greenery right here, so maybe not. That's no, that's a lot right there. So there. Again, y'all, this is just a process, and I apologize. It does take me a while. Because I just want to make sure that the placement's correctly. Like, we need one here. So, let's see if we put it in there. Let's go ahead and look at that. Is that too jumbled over there? No, I think that's good. So what do you guys think? We're going to glue those in, and we're going to be done. And it only took us, you know, almost 2 hours and 10 minutes. So let's get these in. Oh, there's my belly again. Oh, I'm dripping. Let it drip on my... So I normally try and pull my... There, yep, we're dripping. That's okay. I try to normally pull my mat up because I can scrape it off of my glass, the hot glue. But I forgot. That's fine. So I'll just scrape it. I have a razor blade, like you use it in door frames, to like scrape the side of your door frames. I hope that's where that was. That's where it's going now. I don't know if that's where I pulled it from or not. Oh, thanks you guys. And we got 1, 2. Is the third one? It's up here. Okay. And I had it right there. Oh, no, he was right here. So. Ow. Hold on. Speaking of hot glue burns, I don't know why I just did that. I was trying to move that glue that I accidentally got there because I put that in the wrong place. I'll just tell y'all now, if I accidentally let a cuss word slip, I'm so sorry. I try really hard not to when I'm live because a lot of people don't cuss, and I try to be very respectful of my viewers. Because I do have a sailor's mouth. And I was one of the boys growing up, so I hung out with the boys, and then I was a bartender for a little while. And then, of course, my husband he's a construction worker, and they can make a sailor blush. So sometimes I forget. So if I do say something that I shouldn't say when I burn myself, I apologize for. Okay. Again, I'm just wiggling just to make sure it's attaching itself to whatever it can get. And then we did that one, yeah. Okay, so that's it, you guys. What do you guys think? Let me turn these off because I will forget. That is our Santa. So let me get you guys, pull it a little closer. Oh, bye, Rebecca. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, so what do you guys think? So let me show you. There's Santa. Okay, so you can see all of that gorgeousness that we added in. All of that. Oh, let's go ahead and clip our tails real quick. So I didn't do the bottom, and we need to clip those top ones a little shorter. So we got him hanging, got him straight, and then let's get these tails clipped. Okay, so let's start with this one. We'll have this one be our longest. So we're just going to fold them again and just cut up. This one a little bit shorter. I like my tails to be a little shorter from each other. And this one could be a little longer because it's in the middle. Okay, and then let me just cut, yeah, let's just cut this one a little. Not a lot. Okay. No, yeah, let's do that. And then let's just cut, oh, nope, that one's actually good right there. Alright, so there we go. that is your all's wreath for today. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. If there is a certain season that you would like to see next, or if there is, whether it's a candlestick arrangement, if there's anything that you guys would like for me to teach you, please just send me a message, make a post, whatever, let Nikki know. Because I always, whenever I'm in a group and I'm coaching, let me show you guys this cake. Whenever I'm coaching, I always try to do things that you all want to see or you need help with. Hold on one second. So, this is a little out of the box. I'm not showing anybody except the group that I did it in. Look how gorgeous that glitter is. So, like I said, y'all, New Year's Eve are big sellers for in the fake bake world. So don't forget about New Year's Eve items. Okay? I just wanted to show y'all that. But you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me on my very first live coaching how to make a wreath, how to show y'all how to make a wreath. I truly hope you enjoyed it. When I go to list this today, I will list it for it'll be listed because I sell on Etsy, so whenever you sell on a platform that has fees, I'll go through later and clean all the little thingies off, the little glue thingies. I always make sure, always make sure to add in your fees whenever you are selling on a platform that charges fees. So this will be listed for anywhere. I have to add up all of my stuff. He'll probably be $189.97, and then it'll be $25 in shipping. So what I've done there is with the $189, I took $10 in my shipping because y'all, shipping is crazy, and this thing is, let me show you, tell you how big it is. Okay, go there. Oh, he's actually smaller than my normal wreaths. All right, so he's actually smaller. He is only. Yeah, he's only about 30. Oh, no, hold on. Because we got our long point over here. Still shorter. He's 34 inches long. I usually make them 34 to 36. Well, come on, I make them 36 bigger. 34 is actually, yeah, and the thing is, I'm not always good on my prices. Sometimes I undercut myself. It's something that Tammy's been trying to get me to not do, to make sure I price right. So, like I said, he'll be about $189.97. I've taken 10 in my shipping because I know he'll be anywhere between 35 to 40 to ship. And I know this because I just shipped a wreath he actually might be bigger. 24-24-12. I haven't shipped a 36-inch long one. But the 24-24-12, because he is thick, and the other one was too, it was $40 to ship. So, yeah, he's definitely going in a 12-inch deep box. I may even need to go buy a bigger box because he's pretty big. But whenever you list, you do your supplies times 3. If you get like a $50 or a $75 piece to put on your wreath, because some attachments are that crazy high, or even a $25 attachment, don't add that in your times 3, because then we'd be looking at like close to a $300 wreath. So usually when I have an item like that that's really big like that, I'll add like $5 to $10 on for that. But I won't charge $75 in my wreath for a $25 attachment. That's just craziness, to me anyway. But if you have a pricing that works for you and a calculation that you do it that way. But all right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to go get pictures of him. I will get you guys videos that I'll post. It'll probably be reels because I'll be posting them to my business page first, because, you got to do what you got to do to make money when you're monetized. But I'll show you how I make a box big enough to fit this. That way you don't have to keep multiple different size boxes on hand. And then I'll also show you guys exactly what I do when I ship out a box. I like to put a little note on the inside flap. I like to let them know they can use their box to store their wreath in and all of that. But all right, you guys have an absolutely amazing day and an amazing week. I will see you back here. I'm not sure when I'm coming back. I'll talk to Nikki later. I will see you guys tomorrow. I think Shelby's in here tomorrow, or you never know. Well, no, I won't. I won't be live on my page tonight. Who am I kidding? I got too much to do. Anyway, I love you guys, and remember, if you ever see someone without a smile, to always give them one of your own. It is the nicest and easiest thing that you can do for somebody else. Bye, guys, and you have a great day.